Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. We are the Dawn of Ascension Morning Show, and these are my Ascension Soul family, and we are here to share our views and our tools on these crazy and wonky energies we're living through today. And we all know how crazy and wonky they are. My my soul family is Aubrey Cardone, Gina Covell, and Susie Lowe, and I am Arlene Hansart, your host. Aubrey is our encyclopedia of all things, and many of you probably already know her. She's just brilliant when she comes to understanding about how the universe works and all those things. And Susie, she holds our fairy energy, and she always comes with a fairy card um, to help bless our show with. And Gina Covell, she is our holder of truth and light. She has off-world connections, and she makes these luscious essence sprays that are very, very powerful. Susie, would you like to start off our morning with a fairy
Oh,
message?
Arlie, I'd love to, but I'm going to save my little fairy card for my little example later on in the discussion.
Good idea. Okay, I forgot you said that, by golly. Okay, our discussion today is called equal energy exchange. An equal energy exchange can come in lots of different ways and views. It used to be balanced out through karma, as a lot of us knew, but the energies have changed a lot over the last year, particularly. So that might not necessarily be quite as predominant or as important as other energy exchange. So, Aubrey, could you tell us a little bit of Source's view of energy exchanges?
Absolutely. And I even drew a little example so that it would be easy to kind of see what I'm talking about here. Um, Equal energy exchange can be described through one symbol that you've seen before.
Ah,
Right there.
really? Infinity.
So now what that symbol is it's the infinity symbol, and it's basically the symbol of everything moving and meeting in one singularity point. And we all contain that symbol inside of us and the way that we move throughout all of eternity. And at the center of every single infinity point is actually the access to all source and all creation, which means that every single one of you is the original creator. Every single one of us, when you dig far enough in your soul and your memory, is the very, 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 very first consciousness and point of existence. Now, as we travel more through existence, it gets boring to be all creator of all things all the time, and we throw ourselves out of balance on purpose in order to learn and grow and experience new things. So when we look at this infinity symbol on our bodies, you can see that it creates what we call the toroidal field. So the toroidal field is the magnetic field around our body that we experience through. It's kind of like a spaceship that we all exist in at all times. So in order to find balance and kind of start understanding the concept of equal energy exchange, you have to kind of return back to your heart and look at what you're giving to the universe and what you're receiving from the universe. Are you feeding the things that are feeding you? And are you receiving the things that the universe is giving back in order to feed you? And yeah, there's more, but that's a good start.
Wow. So then it's just a natural thing for this ascension process, for the heart of the ascension to now be an affinity sin. It's just balancing us out naturally, then, isn't it? That's the whole
Absolutely.
idea of the infinity for our heart and our toroidal field.
Mhm.
Wow, that's okay. So a lot of people, are real familiar with karma and how they felt like the balance was karmic. So can you explain that now?
Absolutely. So a lot of people, I mean, karma can be a couple of different things depending on what you mean it, but what you mean by it. But for a very long time in human history, there was an actual consciousness that we called karma. That was basically the purveyor of judgment, of energy exchange, and that's where we get ideas like, you get what you give to the universe, and karma is going to get you and stuff like that. Like all of those ideas are coming from a real consciousness that did exist here for a very, very, very long time. Well, a while back, that consciousness decided to go and repurpose itself in source and made the decision to not come back again as that consciousness. And so that energy was recycled, and that consciousness, while it does exist, it does not exist in that form in any way, shape, or form now. However, the idea of energy balancing itself is just sort of a natural law of the universe. And so karma, in that sense, is absolutely real. We do, the universe is always giving back what you give to it. And it's more in the sense that we have talked about on this show already, about how the universe mirrors everything that you give to it. And so when you smile in the mirror smiles back, and so on and so forth. The energy flow balances itself in that way. So if you want to find balance in your life and you want to receive more from the universe, you need to make sure that you are giving to the universe what you want to be receiving at all times. And if you're out of balance there, the universe is going to be throwing that energy right back at you.
Oh, that's a wonderful. So then basically, we can use karma as a term, but we should be aware that it's a mirroring, and that we can go, well, instead of saying mirroring, well, we're reflecting that karma, but it's an absolute mirroring of what we give and we get.
Absolutely.
Okay. So, how does this affect the reality in Mother Earth and the fairy realms, the elementals, and these elements?
That's a great question, Arlene, because Mother Earth has been talking a lot lately. She really is excited for everyone to be giving to her the way that she's been giving to us. That's a lot of the current human contracts, is to be giving to Mother Earth as much as we receive. And kind of the benefit of that is the more that we focus on what we can do for Mother Earth, the more that our bodies are going to actually resonate into her frequency. And it's a shortcut, guys. It's a shortcut to ascension, to start harmonizing your body through the earth. And so that can look like eating really nourishing foods from Mother Earth, and showing a lot of reverence with the way that you treat the environment. That can look like, if you are out and about and you see some litter, pick it up. There's all sorts of things that you can do in order to kind of resonate with Mother Earth. But she is ascended further than humanity is at this point. And she's a very multidimensional being. And you can get there very quickly in your vessel simply by convening with the plants and the nature around you.
Oh, that's that's good information. Wow. Okay. Gee, so basically we're trying to learn to take a whole new step. I mean, everything's really swapped the last year. Everything's really changed. And the way that we're supposed to acquire and expand our energy and all those different things. So how does this work in the balance between masculine and feminine? Is that basically the infinity sign, a form of masculine and feminine we're balancing as well?
I would masculine and feminine is an extra different. It's a concept that we are also outgrowing as humanities. And masculinity and femininity is a concept that is kind of based in duality. And as humans, we're starting to move into more polarity rather than duality, which means just like balancing. It's not one or the other, and so they're not equally balanced. But a masculine presence is a lot about holding structure and holding container, and whereas a feminine presence is a lot about movement and creation. Both of them hold the codes for creation, and both of them hold the, like, women can hold such beautiful container in space, you know. It's not one or the other, it's just the way that they do it is different. And so balancing our masculinity and femininity inside of us, I mean, is a really wonderful way to start kind of finding balance of all equal energy exchange. And you know, does that answer your question?
Yeah, yes, it does. It most definitely does, because sometimes that's where we have to start when we get on this process, is learning how to balance that masculine and feminine. But I also realized during this discussion that we have evolved way past, some of us have evolved, and there's a way past to the point to where we're really going to be balancing with Mother Earth more than, and our heart more than we are with any of these other concepts or anything like that. It's that balance
Right here.
and that energy. Yeah. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Susie, I know Susie has information on this concept and she's been wanting to share it. So Susie, go for it.
Oh, thanks, Arlene. Yeah, I have a really good example of how I fell out of balance. I remember about 8 years ago or so when I was a very active church member and volunteer. And at that time, our church decided to adopt a Syrian refugee family of 6, with their youngest child just a few months old when they arrived. And they also didn't speak any English. Well, of course, I was really excited about this project and I wanted to be on the team of volunteers. But what I didn't realize at the time was how many very long hours I'd spend working with this family. I took it upon myself to really take on the brunt of it. That meant, working late into the night, working long days, and it turned into weeks and months. And then Mother's Day came around, and my 4-year-old daughter made this beautiful Mother's Day craft at school, brought it home, and she gave it to her dad and said to him, "Here, this is for you." So I had been helping this refugee family, organizing translators, processing the documents that they needed, setting up appointments with the doctor, the dentist, English lessons for the parents, school meetings, driving them here and there, even to school when they missed the bus. I also arranged for them to have a fishing license because fish was a primary source of food for their family before they came. So I put all of my energy and my time and basically my entire self into that project. But it took my daughter giving her Mother's Day present to her father to really wake me up and to seeing the huge imbalance of energy that I had created for myself. Over the years, I've been a lot more sensitive to equal energy exchange. And since I left the church 3 years ago, I've had a well-deserved rest. However, recently I've been feeling an itch to sort of return to community service somehow, and I've been waiting for the universe to send me a signal. And so a few months ago, I pulled the Loam card twice in the same week from my Fairies Oracle deck. And the Loam card basically means giving freely, generously, and unconditionally. And it also means unconditional receiving. So we've been giving the earth, the trees, the flowers, things to eat and friends. And so what the Loam card was telling me is I've gone out of balance once again, and it's now time to equal things out. So for the last few months during my morning meditations, I've been calling in community service, but community service that brings in joy and that really gets me excited to wake up in the morning. Well, the universe answered. And a week ago, last Friday, we recorded our very first Dawn of Ascension morning show. And not only that, I am doing it with my amazing and gifted soul sisters, Arlene, Gina, and Aubrey. And I love you all so much.
We love you too.
We love you too. She keeps us giggling. She's just, she is not serious, but she'd be good. I think most of us that are empaths, we know this story well. We know this story, and we know when we're out of balance, but we don't understand that there's a healing point, and to just to look at the mirror and realize that it's a self-reflection instead of battling, battling with that reflection that we're seeing.
I think it's also, I love how Susie kind of pointed out that, I don't know, it's once you start feeling balanced in your heart space, your capacity for giving and receiving grows and grows and grows. The giving unconditionally that Susie was, and then receiving unconditionally that Susie was talking about. Those things are like, you can give yourself, you can give everything you have to the universe and it will give it back if it's coming from the balanced place in your heart. You can't skip the step of being in your heart and expect it to come back. But if you do, it's forever.
Gina, do you have something to add to that? Do you have your a reflection?
Oh, yes. I live on an acre and a half here near Sedona, in a little place called Cornville, Arizona. But I have opened my property up to some friends. One gentleman and his significant other, and then her son came, and also another couple that were here. The other couple, there was the other couple that were here. I'm a very giving person. I'm one of the light workers' faults, I think, is giving too much. And I'm good at that. But this couple that were here, I let them have some chickens. She loved chickens, and came with one that was actually living in her trailer. And so we got chickens more than I already had 6, but then she really wanted goats, and I have a lot of property. I thought it would be fun to have goats. Maybe they'd help with the weeds. So we got goats, and then she was in charge of those. Before I knew it, after a year or so of being here, every time I turned around, there were new baby chickens. She was in charge of collecting the eggs. She was selling the eggs, but there were always more chickens. She and her boyfriend, at first they were doing things around the place. I gave them a section to garden. I thought it would be beautiful. She's an artist. I thought it would be very beautiful. Yeah, well, the garden wound up to be sunflowers and a lot of weeds. The goats, they got taken care of, but when I asked about, could we do something to help me with what I'm doing and my part of the garden, like pulling weeds? Maybe if you're walking down the driveway and there's a goat head coming up, could you just pull it on your way to and from? Oh no, they don't. All of a sudden it was like less and less got done and help, and any kind of help for me. And they suggested that I hire a landscaper, and they would help chip in with that. Neither of them were earning a lot of money. And then finally I had to just say, that's enough. I gave them a month's notice, and they basically did nothing for a month until it was like the day they were supposed to leave. And I was like, out now, gone. Oh my goodness, it felt so wonderful when they left. And I got to have I got a big part of me back. There was a large part of me that had left because it was, and the earth, I remember when they were had to leave and were filling up the trucks and stuff. I was outside doing weeding, and I was getting, it's like I was yelling at myself, but I was like, that's not really me, because I don't really yell at myself that much. And then I realized it was my property was yelling at me and saying, they've got to go. They've got to go. And I'm like, wow, all right. Yeah, they did. They had to go because they were sucking all the energy off the whole property, and not giving anything back.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So for you guys, I have trouble, especially you guys like to do these first thing in the morning, and that's my time because Arizona, it gets hot by 10, 11. So I got to get up at 5 and I'm trying it. They've only been gone for about 7 or 8 months now, and it's spring, and I'm trying to clean up a lot of that stuff and create what I want the property to be. Now, before I've been trying to hurry before summer gets here. So that's part of my push of creativity and giving back to my property after I let it be abused for so long. So there you go.
I never seen energy that just, I was never aware energy second energy out of Mother Earth. When you were telling that story, it was like I could see almost like a vortex, and they were going just
Yeah.
sucking it right out. Aubrey, I know you want to say something.
Right. I think it's important to recognize, I think that as you did, Gina, that there's a certain point where enabling that behavior hurts not just you, but also the people that are doing that behavior. There are a lot of humans that they were taught that behavior. It's kind of vampiric in nature, and they don't actually necessarily know any better, but they can't learn differently if they are just given and given and given and given. It continues this vortex, and it also continues to teach the vortex. And so we who are, I mean, we're all learning at all times. I mean, that's part of existence. But if we do, that's why we set the example of equal energy exchange and show people in that way, and don't allow that to continue by being a part of it, because it sucks energy from you just as much as it harms their ability to learn. Good job. You did good.
Yeah. You made a comment about the vortex, which I seen as energy when she was talking about it. So you're saying that once a vortex has got an energy spiral going to it, it's its own energy, and that until it's separated out, then it's going to continue building its own energy
I mean,
from
all
the situation.
that have momentum will continue to build momentum. And so
Okay.
like separating it out is not, I mean, another way that could have been handled would be to like have, well, I think Gina handled it perfectly, because she set a
She
boundary
did.
and and modeled equal energy exchange, set a boundary, and then they had a choice to go into that, to cross the boundary or not, and they chose to not step up to the plate. And that's going to start killing the momentum, because they don't have anything more to feed on, is really what it is. It's not about separating things out. It is about, maintaining your own peace and setting the example.
Okay. I see that. I see and understand that more. Wow. 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 Does anyone else have anything they want to add to this subject, or um
Well, how about examples from you, Arlene?
oh, equal energy exchange. I always empath. I always gave way too much. And I had to learn to I had to learn to rein in, and I learned to rein in through my family is how I learned to rein in, because I was taught that I could whatever I did was not enough. And I was the oldest of five children. I have four younger brothers, and I just took care of things as a 9-year-old that an adult should have, and just kept going on from that. So I had to learn a balance, and for me, it was also a lesson on slavery. I worked on that lesson for a long, long time, and I know all you ladies are aware of that. But it was learning how to balance with slavery and being cast out, and it comes back to where uh, you just have to give. So now it's like, I'm going to give, and that's good. I can help you here, but what are you going to give back to me? How are we going to balance this a little bit better? But I still haul fresh brownies to the neighbor, but then she's going to do something else to me at another time too. So, it's just to me, it's just sharing, and I would never want to not share. I just enjoy sharing energy, a smile, a hello. I love your blouse. I love your dress. Um, and make sure that if I give something now, I'm going to get something. I'm going to get something back at a later time. And you have to be open to that coming back to you too. You can't just say, that's fine. Because a month ago, that's what I did. I don't know. But now I'm like, ooh, okay. How how can I balance this? This has to balance. I don't know if that's as clear as mud or not, but well, this has been quite an eye opener about balancing of energies. We went around this topic a whole lot, and I'm sure that we can take and add some more. I would like to add that if any of you have comments, please give us if you want a topic, just throw a topic in the comments. Comment to how you think. What do you think? How do you think? What would you like to hear about? We can cover any kind of subject. We've got all kinds of things that we can discuss. But add what you would like in our comments. We're looking forward to hearing from everyone. Does anyone else have any little comment they would like to add to our show this morning?
I think this was great.
Everyone's done. Okay. Oh, oh, oh,
Oh,
oh. Do I hear an incoming message? Beep, 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 beep,
Beep,
beep,
beep, beep, beep,
beep,
beep,
beep,
beep, beep,
beep,
beep,
beep,
beep,
beep,
beep,
beep,
beep,
beep.
beep, beep, beep.
Oh, it gives me chills. We have a really good incoming message. Okay. Who's coming in for us?
Oh my goodness, we've got a couple of different people that have a message.
Share them all.
I think the first one I'm hearing, I'm seeing foxes, but it's really spirit animals in general. There is just sort of a call from Mother Earth and from animals. If you're connected to a spirit animal, it wants to talk to you. There are a bunch of messages coming through our relationships with our animals right now. Even if you're like, if you right now in physical presence don't have a lot of interaction with animals, meditating with you might see a symbol of an animal. Like I had a friend recently who gave me some sea turtle bones, and suddenly I met someone with a sea turtle on their shoe. And, it's just like animals in general, they have a secret language that they would like to teach you. So if you have some sort of critter who has been kind of just showing up in your general surroundings, spend some time, meditate, think like maybe you can look at a picture and feel into it, or you can simply just feel it in your heart because it would like to talk to you. There also there are a bunch of fairies that just kind of wanted they wanted us to share about Stonehenge. So I don't know if Arlene, would you like to let everybody know what what happened there.
Wow, they want to share about Stonehenge. Okay, so on the 20th, we all got this information that from the fairies that and the solstice was coming up, and Stonehenge has this huge portal, huge portal, and they couldn't connect to it, so we all went there to see how we could help. And I seen this portal as like it had like a block on it, kind of like a potato strainer. You could see little bits of energy, but not a lot, but it was really blocked. So then okay, Aubrey, you fill in from here. I'm kind of like
You're
I'm getting I'm
You're
getting am I doing okay?
You're doing great.
I'm kind of like lost in my energy again. So
I love
anyway,
it.
I carry supernova energy. I carry pulsar energy, and I can blast. I'm here for Mother Earth, and I can blast stuff from way far away. So anyway, we found out that there was the archons, is
Archon.
that archons had put a contamination on that hold, and the light from that portal was actually a part of my essence that had been captured by the archons and used for 1,000,000 years. So anyway, the goal was to blast it out. So anyway, we were in there, and I pumped up, and Aubrey goes, okay, I can feel myself pumping up this energy, pumping up this energy. I'm going, oh, you guys, it's getting hot here. And Aubrey's going, you're getting ready to blast, Darlene. You're getting ready to blast. I'm going, okay, I'm doing it. And I hit them with this big old power. And she says, they got dizzy, and Mother Earth told them they had to leave, and they skedadded out of there. They said, that's enough. So out they went. And then I could see it went gray, which means that matter's being cleared. And then I could see way far away a white light coming out, which Aubrey told me was the light from the portal. And when she came up out of that between Stonehenge, and she came up out of that portal, it was like she had just the bars of a deep cavern had been lifted, and she was like, oh, I see the light. And then she was so happy to see everything. And then it was her solstice. And oh, she just blasted light, and it was so wonderful. And then the next morning, Susie posted the dawn of the solstice energy, and you could just feel that portal was just happy and glowy, and the fairies were so happy, and that energy was just going all over Earth.
Thank you, Arlene. That was perfect. The reason that this message wanted to be shared is because that was not the only portal that this happened to this solstice. And so many of you watching were probably involved in some sort of portal clearing. There is just across all of Earth, there has been just like this solstice was really powerful with the full moon energy plus the solstice energy, and the pacing in between eclipses. This was just fantastic. So I just wanted to let all of you watching know, good job. We've done so well, so well lately. And we have a new portal network that's online, and is a much higher frequency than the previous iterations of our portal networks. So we're just one step closer to being able to experience all the full spectrum of all the realms that are here on Earth. So remember to be with nature as much as possible, because that's going to be your key. That's the ticket in.
So with the new portal energy that's come in, does that mean that new creatures will be joining us?
That's a good question. The portals are a high enough frequency. It could feasibly means some higher frequency creatures could be coming through. It looks like right now, a lot of the portal network is kind of has angels guarding each door right now. Just kind of we're still stabilizing, but almost certainly. I mean, we're open to the entire multiverse, and new portals means new friends. So
Cool.
Yeah, you can just tell it, you can just feel that the energy just really lightened up. And you know, and if you move back and you tune in, you can just feel that the energy has lightened up so much since that portal opened. But yeah, it was quite the experience, and we were all there. And the fairies, you know, that was they needed that the fairies. The fairies are so important. The elementals are so important. Whatever we do, in the end, once me and Gina and Aubrey have cleaned whatever we can and do, then Susie calls in the elementals and the fairies to help clean the rest of it up because that's their job. That's what they do. Well, this has been quite an expanding conversation, and I'm sure some people are going to go, ah, but it's our world and it's the journey of ascension.
yes, it is.
So we would like for you again to put down any comments that you like, any, you know, if you have some deep something that's nagging at you, put it in there. We'll make a comment on it. We comment on everything.
Or if you
Thank
have some good stories yourself about energy exchanges or interesting experiences with animals or in nature that show how nature is ascending along with us. And I don't know about you guys, but I've had some really interesting experiences with critters of late. I won't tell that one, but hummingbirds coming within inches of me, just sort of checking me out and saying hello, and a garter snake that is I didn't know, not a garter snake, it's a king snake. That's it, king snake. It's living in a hole by one of my garden areas, and it pulled a rock, or it dug the hole right under a little rock, and it keeps it over it. But it sticks its nose like right out of the hole sometimes, where I can just say hello and check on it and see what it's doing. So the animals around here are becoming much more friendly and communicative.
And they'll only
I'm
become
like,
so the more that you resonate with Mother Earth, which Gina does very, very well. she's in her garden every morning.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. She's around all that vibration.
it's just so much fun.
Yeah, yeah.
So anyway,
So I think we're going to end our show with that today, everyone. And I thank you all for coming and watching and listening to our stories and our ascension journey, and listening to Mother Earth and what the fairies would like to know, like for you to know and hear. And again, we record on Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. And so first thing in the mornings on Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, then you'll see us. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. And will join us again
Bye.
on the Morning of Ascension show.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.